Hello group, Jeff here. I wanted to show you how I made out with my PoleMaster Pi and the parts that I made for the Pi. So I have my battery. I made 3 parts, or actually 4 parts for the whole unit. I have the battery holder, I have the base for the Pi, the top case for the Pi, and then I made a bracket to hold the PoleMaster. And the PoleMaster is on center with the dovetail bracket. So I will show you that the battery has got a good charge. There's 3 or 5 lights. Slide her in. I can still see the lights. I can also hit for the flashlight if I ever needed it. So I'm going to plug this guy in. And you'll see I've got power going to the Pi. I have a red LED, and in a couple seconds I'll have the green LED as it starts its boot. So there's the green LED. So on this side of the Pi I have my cable, which I'm going to tie wrap to the back of this with a little clip that I've 3D printed that I can use some Gorilla Tape that will stick to the back and hold that. This whole unit weighs probably 5 pounds, which isn't too bad, all things considered. It doesn't stay on the scope. So I'm going to fire up the No Machines. And I'll set the Pi here. I'll start the Pi on the desktop client, and I'll enter my password. And here comes the Pi. I'll make it a little bigger. I'll right-click on the desktop to get to a terminal. I'm going to enter sudo PoleMaster, enter my password again. And the Pi is now booted. I'll make it full screen. I'll connect to the camera. And you'll see the camera has started. I'll take the cover off. And bingo, we have ignition. So what I'll do is I'll show you that the software is working by kind of faking the so now it's asking me to click for Polaris. I'll just click in the center. I have my things. Now I'm going to use the slider to find, we'll say this is good. I'm going to say no. I'm going to pick a star right here. I'm going to say finish. I'm going to pick a star here. I'm going to say finish. I'm going to pick another star here. And you'll see I get the green circle, and now it's going to make sure, or ask me to move the mount back to home. We'll pretend I did that. I'll click on Polaris, pretend it's here. I'll move these. We'll say success. Now it's asking me to find Polaris. So I would move my mount. When I'm done, I would say finish. It's going to ask me to double click Polaris again. We'll say here. Now I'll say success. And I should get, and I've got my final drift align window popping up. So all in all, I think this has worked out quite well. It's not as fast as being plugged into the computer, but just for the convenience of not messing with my cables, I think that this is something that once I get used to the speed of the Pi, I can live with. So what I would do after my first scope is aligned is I would disconnect the camera, which basically resets the software. I would then move this from the scope that I just PA'd to the second scope, and then I would connect the camera, and oops, sorry. Then I would go through the procedure on the second scope. And after that's all done, I would disconnect the camera, close the PoleMaster, close the terminal, and then I'll shut down the Pi. And then I would remove the Pi from the scope, and because it's going to shut itself off, all I have to do is make sure that the green light isn't blinking, in which right now it's shut off, so I can pull the power, and that's it. So I think this little guy is kind of cool. One of the things that really makes this project cool is the fact that I designed and built or printed the parts on my 3D printers. And I don't count my time because I love doing this stuff. I'm kind of a maker. And the only real expense I have are in the 3D printers, the machines themselves, and the consumables. So I might have $50 in this whole process, materials and machine time. And that's the best 50 bucks I've spent in a long time. I hope you guys like my PoleMaster Pi, my remote PoleMaster Pi, standalone I should say. And we'll catch you on the group. See you later.